Senator, welcome to King Island, the first time.
Thank you, Wade. It's absolutely amazing to be here today. It is my first time, and what a day. The sun is shining, the air is beautiful and clean, and there's so many people around. It's been fantastic.
So that's the nature bit. The rest of the island? So far?
The people have just been incredible. We've walked up and down the main street, we've gone into businesses and said hello, had some scones at the CWA with a lot of the lovely ladies there, and gents, I should say, as well. It's just been incredible so far.
A few people to me this morning said, "Who's Josh Dolega? Can you give me a rundown?" You don't have to start at baby time, but sort of run a little bit through a career.
Yeah, no worries. Well, look, probably I'm just an average guy. Sort of average guy now because I'm a senator for Tasmania. But I grew up in Devonport. Born in Devonport, grew up in Sprayton, have lived on the northwest coast for most of my life. And I have predominantly worked in the public service. I spent 15 years working at the Australian Taxation Office, and then I had a bit of a career change. Went to go and work for a trade union. I've always been a union member, and I was a union delegate at the tax office. So I had a career change and worked for the CPSU, which was an amazing privilege to represent workers at Centrelink, Medicare, child support. And then I sort of had a bit of a divergence to specialise in work health and safety as a lead organiser for members across the public service, federal public service.
Working for the tax office, does that mean now in politics at least you're used to people complaining? Or?
I've done a whole lot of things at the tax office, whether it was, yes, I did some debt collection, yes, I helped people complete their BASs, people to navigate the tax system, to understand pay as you go for their employees. I had a stint in doing support internally and also working on corporate correspondence, and when the tax office was changing to their letters to be in plain English. I've had quite a varied career throughout the ATO.
What made you decide to go into politics? You wanted to get away from home so you could spend a lot of time in Canberra? Or?
Well, look, life for me, it just has taken lots of different turns at different spots. I'd always thought I'd never leave working in the public service at the tax office, and yet I had a career change to go and work for a union, which sort of is political in nature. Obviously, under conservative governments, they traditionally go after and try to attack unions and our members, whereas the Labor side of politics, supports workers and tries to lift workers up. So it was sort of a natural turn. It seemed to, when I think about it, to go from working in a union to then to nominating to fill Anne Urquhart's casual vacancy when she resigned from the Senate.
Specific reason why to join the Senate?
Well, it was the opportunity that presented to me because, as people may be aware, Anne Urquhart was elected in 2022 for a 6-year term. And she decided to have a crack at run for the House. There's not a lot of people across, definitely from King Island, from talking today, and across the northwest coast who doesn't know Anne Urquhart. She's worked incredibly hard, and you see the result of the federal election. She had a 15.4% swing to her, the biggest swing in the federal election, and that's because of the hard work she's done representing everyday people from all walks of life. So that's where the Senate come into it. The Senate, the party wins the Senate seat and the party nominates the person. So I was chosen by the National Exec of the Labor Party to fill Anne's vacancy.
Being in the Senate is a lot easier when your party is in government, or?
Look, it's the Senate is its own beast. The House of Representatives, we have 94 seats and 94 members where there's a huge majority. In the Senate, I guess the design of it is that parties don't really have majorities in the Senate. So yes, there are definite advantages being on the government benches and on the government side. However, the Senate requires negotiation to pass legislation. Yeah.
Is your specialty, can we call it aviation?
Probably not, no. But I'm taking a lot of interest in the aviation because I, as a senator and a government senator, you serve on, and a backbencher, I serve on multiple committees in the Senate, and one of those is Regional, Rural and Transport. And at the moment, we are doing an inquiry into regional aviation, and it's sort of something that has been quite important to Tasmania, and is something that we know is really important to King Island as well. Aviation, it's one of our lifelines.
We have a mayor who likes to sort of see this island grow to a population of 3,500 people. Our accommodation is growing with Ocean Dunes, with another 64 units being built so more tourists can come to the island. Then we have one airline who says, I'm not flying from Essendon after the 2nd of May. From Tasmania, they charge now everybody full flex fare. We talk about families with 2 or 3 kids that come here for a holiday and they spend $12,000 for a long weekend, everything included. Flinders Island saw an upgrade of their airport. Is it about time that the federal government looks at a definite upgrade to the airport of King Island to make this island, help it grow?
Well, look, I definitely have spoken to a lot of people today, and one of the when I've met with the council as well, and I've become aware now that there is a requirement for the airport to be upgraded in the near term, and I've definitely found out, that larger aircraft like the Qantas operates, for example, like the Dash 8 Q400, they cannot land on the airport and on the runway as it currently sits. I would encourage the council and the state government to definitely go through the normal processes to seek funding or assistance for that if required. Yeah.
What could you do in your role?
Well, I'm more than happy to meet with anybody and to negotiate and to pass feedback onto the Transport Minister for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. We have a lot of voices in the government, and in Tasmania we are well represented by the Labor Party, and I'm sure when the time comes when the council, as they own the King Island Airport, they are ready to make those requests of government that they can support on their Labor colleagues to make those representations for them as well.
Anything you would like to add? I know it's your first visit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit discovery, and I'm sure we talk about more subject in the future when you're coming back.
I really look forward to having more chats with you in the future. Blown away by the CWA in town and the amazing scones and just the great conversation and just the great people in there and just the warmth and the friendliness of people around coming up and having a chat. And obviously a lot of people know that I'm here talking about some of the issues, like about aviation in particular, and just the preparedness to come and have a conversation and to let me know so I can, in the hearings, when you're on Monday, be a voice for people. And I think that's what is driving me in this role as a Senator for Tasmania, is being a voice to people. When I was a union rep, part of what we do is to work on a collective so all of us have a bigger voice, and I'm more than happy and I'm so proud to be able to do that for the people of King Island. As Braddon is my duty electorate as a senator, like we have for Tasmania, so I will be spending a lot of time here over the next few years.